everybody. It's Jonathan from Howard Hospitality Group and David from Xtreme Vending. Welcome. How are you?
Hey, great. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. So this is the first ever of these videos of, I think I'm going to call it, I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to call it Meet the Industry or Meet the People in the Industry or just Meet the People. I don't know what I'm going to call it. But anyways, what I wanted to do was get together with people, fellow vendors and distributors and stuff, and just kind of have conversations about what's going on in the industry and how you got started and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of have some funny questions and then I have some kind of serious questions, but I'll hopefully mix them up for you so it won't be tough. It'll be more fun.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
you ready?
Yeah, I'm in. I mean, let's do this. I have no idea what you're going to ask me. I didn't even
Okay,
know we're
here we
doing this
go.
interview. So this is kind of fun. I'll be the
Okay.
test.
So the first question is kind of the break the ice question. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
What's your favorite video game of all time or arcade game of all time or amusement game? Any game that is your favorite of all time and why?
Oh my gosh. Well, dang it, there's so many good video games out there. I
Yeah.
mean, I grew
You can
up
list
with
more than one. It's okay.
Yeah, well, I was a big fan of like Mario games and such, but there was one Mario game that really got to me. It was Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars on the Super Nintendo.
Ooh, that's
Did
a
you
good
play
one.
that one?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's a great one. Kingdom Hearts was really fun, which was on the
yeah.
PlayStation 2, and then of course progressed it. Arcade-like would be NBA Jam or the NFL Blitz are really fun.
Nice.
As for like, what do I like to play for amusement games? I like the ones that make me money. So claw machines, probably.
Whatever makes you money, those are the ones you like.
Yes,
Okay.
I like those ones. I like those ones because I can play some and make me money. So.
Well, cool. Well, good. So the first kind of serious question, not really a serious question, but tell us your story about how you got started and kind of where you're at now, like how many machines and what you got going on, that kind of thing. Just tell us about you.
Okay. Yeah. So I saw Quick Play on YouTube, and back then they had like maybe 4 or 5,000 subscribers, and I was
Right.
following them for a while, and I'd be working in construction, and then when I go to my parents' house because my dad was my boss, and we just kind of chillax, I look up on stuff on YouTube, and I'm always trying to find something to make a little extra money. I did some, like people do MLMs and such like that, and of course MLMs never really work out except for the top guy.
Right.
So yeah, I learned that it didn't work out, but I did find a couple here, little things here and there, and it would work for a while, but never stuck. And but I watched Quick Play, and then I watched Claw Kickers and Joystick and other vendors, and I was like, man, this is something
Yeah.
really cool. And actually, I just found the video and posted on Discord. But around when they hit about 10,000 subscribers, Quick Play, they posted the video. What's better, claw machines, full line vending, coin pushers, or the little candy machines? And
Yeah.
they reviewed all 4 of them. And I remember watching that, and they talked about how claw machines are the best in the video. And I was like, man, they're right. And so I went on the internet, went on Craigslist because I didn't really do Facebook Marketplace that much, and OfferUp was still kind of newer at the time
Right.
because 3.5 years ago, and went on Craigslist and I found this claw machine. It looked like those little toy house claw machines you see at Walmart, the old black ones with the little toy houses. And I saw that and I was like, okay, I got a claw machine, $600 or $650. I need to find a location. And I went down to my local grocery store, which was only a mile or 2 away. And I walked in there and I walked around and they had no claw machines. They had capsule machines, but no claw machines. And they had a perfect spot in the entrance. They had a little food court with some tables, electrical and everything, just no claw machine. So
Right.
I was like, this is perfect. So I went and I talked to the owner. I was so nervous, so scared, but I was like, I got to do this. And the lady was really nice. Her name was Beth. And she came out and talked with me. I'm like, look, Beth, you guys have a spot right here. And I have this claw machine. And I pulled out my phone. And I think it was a Galaxy S7 at the time. And I showed them the picture, not the actual Craigslist ad, just the picture. And I told them, I have this claw machine. And I can place it right here. And I can split the revenue with you guys. And, it's a win-win situation. And she's like, well, come back later. Of course, I'll talk to my brother. And they end up, I come back every once in a while, check on them. And they said, oh, we forgot to talk about it. We still need to talk about it. So I'm getting my hopes up, and I'm thinking to myself, it's not going to happen. because this is my first location. And luckily, they came back and eventually when I came in, they're like, yeah, we decided it'd be perfect for a claw machine. So that day I went.
Location was a grocery store.
Yeah, and that day I was like so excited I couldn't wait. I went all the way to Tucson, which is like a 2-hour drive for me. Picked up that claw machine, and it was a lot of work getting that claw machine out of the house. We had to take down the joystick and throw it on the back of the pickup, put the joystick back on, and we came in and we placed it. And my first month was $145 in sales on that claw machine.
That's good.
Yeah, to me that was a lot of money. It was extra after payouts, an extra $100. So
what'd you put in it at first? What was the first things you put in there?
I didn't have any toys. Luckily, they came with toys because I didn't think about toys. I was just thinking about a claw machine, and it came with some plush, and it was just whatever the kid won because it was the person's son's claw machine, and those people were pretty unique people. Like, never mind, I won't get into what I thought about them. They were strange, but the son would have a whole bunch of toys, and they promised me all the toys. Later, they called me up and texted me, and they wanted some of the toys back. And so they were like, my son is so mad and throwing a fit and punching holes in the walls. And I'm like, whoa, so I set the toys aside, and I was like, look, I'm not going back to Tucson. It's a 2-hour drive. But I'll have these toys ready to go. You can either pay me some money in shipping and I'll ship it to you, or you can come over here and grab them. And I held on to those toys for like 6 months and they never came. So I just finally, I don't know what I did with those toys. But I don't think I ever put them back in the machine. But that's how.
Well, how cool is that though? That you basically found a location, then you went and got the machine like right away.
Yeah, cool. I was super nervous, and it just progressed from there because I was like, okay, I needed a truck, but I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if there was a machine smaller than a normal size claw machine? I bet they would make so much money. And that's when I started searching for mini claw machines, and I came across Alibaba, and I purchased my first mini claw machine. It cost me roughly around $1,300, just a little over like $1,350. Yeah, my first mini claw machine, and it was the OG of OGs. So and I placed that sucker, and back then there was no Discord, no community. I had no idea what to do because I got this machine in there. I place it, and it's not accepting quarters. Well, I was luckily I built a little coin op before arcade game. I was like, oh, I just need to put the dummy coin in there, and that was solved. But then the dollar bill acceptor that came with it, because I had made sure it came with a dollar bill acceptor, you put the dollar in, and it would count it as 1 quarter, 1 credit. And because there was no one there to teach me about the dip switches. I never dealt with that. There was no manual or anything. And so I asked the Carissa at the time, or not Carissa, Karina was her name. I didn't even use Rainy at the time. And so she didn't know what to do. No one knew what to do. And I went over there and I just messed with the dip switches. And for 3 days, I just went over there, hit random switches, and just worked on it for hours each time, trying to figure out which setting was the right one. It turned out to be dip switch 1 and dip switch 5. That's the only ones you have to have on. But there was 10 of them, so I'm just flicking them around and trying to figure it out. So it worked.
Well, everything we learn from you when it comes to claw machines. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's funny.
And I watched all your videos, and we learned how to do it. So, because we didn't really know what we were doing with claw machines. We started with full line, and that was our first machines, and then we got candy machines and claw machines at the same time. And we had no idea. We watched every single one of your videos to learn about claw machines because we didn't know what we were doing. But how many machines? I know all this stuff, but how many machines are you up to now total?
Well, I did have over 100, but because I'm switching over to Mega Minis, I'm selling and getting rid of a lot of my old minis, and I'm upgrading the Megas. So it's kind of like a 2-to-1 trade or something like that. And I'm buying Nayax readers. That's the other thing. Nayax is, as you know, it's like $300 a piece. Yeah. So I'm selling these minis. I'm getting rid of my lesser locations I don't really need as much. Locations that don't produce that well, because that happens. And I'm just gonna upgrade to all Megas, and I'm loving it so much. That's what I'm gonna work on right now. But I got 65 active locations right now, and some of the locations have more than one mini. Some of them don't even have just a mini. They have large machine with a mini or some arcade games.
Yeah, you've got arcade games too, which I didn't realize till a few days ago.
I got some racers and stackers and Lighthouse and other games. But that's
very cool. So next question is, tell us something about yourself that maybe the listeners or your customers or your somebody might not know. Something that is unique about you.
Well, I don't know. You don't really see it because it's recording stuff, but you kind of saw what I'm really like with that stupid shower video I made. I'm actually a big dork, and I
Yeah.
feel really bad, and I think that's why people got a little bit upset about that video, is they don't realize I'm a real goober.
Yeah.
I'm like just not serious all the time. I joke around. I do stupid stuff. I go around in stores and I'll just randomly start singing in public, and like I don't have a singing voice at all. I did, and like you saw,
I
there's
think that's
more
the best
video of
part
me as
about you, though.
what's that?
I think that's the best part about you. You know what I
Like,
mean?
and I think it's so sad and funny because these people look to me on YouTube and they invest thousands and thousands of dollars. And what I'm doing, it works. I mean, you're doing it now, and other people are doing it. It's working. It really does. But I'm such a goober, like I said,
Super dork like me.
a
Yeah.
super dork, and I'll do stupid stuff all the time because that's why I like just being dumb. I like having fun in life. And
Yeah.
like one year for Halloween, I dressed up, and I don't know if you saw that picture. I was a claw machine playing a claw machine. I made my own claw machine outfit, and I enjoyed that and
Right.
such. So I just do stupid stuff all the time.
Okay. What this is like you're getting an interview. So what is your biggest success and your biggest failure?
My biggest success is getting married to my wife, I would say.
Oh,
I
nice.
struggled so hard dating and trying to find the right person. And my wife and I were friends, and I didn't know she hated me. She absolutely hated me when we were when we were first friends, and I just thought she was being silly, and I never took it as being like she hated me. But for dating, like it was really hard for me. I couldn't ever find that special someone. She's my one and only, and
Right.
I'm 26 years old by the time I finally got with someone. 25, 26. So, and my biggest failure, I don't know. Like, I never really look at things as a failure. Like, I mean, I've gotten into MLMs before and that failed, but I had a lot of fun, made a lot of friends, and even though I lost tons of money trying to
Yeah.
figure things out, it's like I learned business. So
That's
in
a
the end,
great outlook, though. That's a
yeah.
great outlook. Yeah. Very cool. So, what do you think that your favorite product that you put in your machine is? What's your favorite thing to put in your claw machine?
Oh, I love a lot of stuff, but the LED watches kick butt like crazy. Those little LED watches, like I'll make a dedicated claw machine with just those watches, and it will
Mm-hmm.
outsell the other claw machines with plush. So, and then the Pikachu heads, I love those Pikachu heads. I got tons of them in there.
Yeah.
Um,
We just ordered
just
some of those too. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
my favorite toys are the ones that are like those Pikachu heads. They're only 35 cents a piece,
Yeah.
and I can put them in a machine, charge $1, and people will play for them and make like $6 per Pikachu head.
Do you notice a big difference? Because we're getting ready to order watches right now too. Do you notice a big difference between the ones that have the characters on them and the ones that don't?
Honestly, they both did really well.
Uh-huh.
So I just like the character ones because it looks because people I did get this comment a few times. Some people actually think that those cheaper ones are Fitbit watches. And I think the cartoon character ones look more like childish. So I
Uh,
mean, in a way, it's less. I wasn't never trying to deceive anyone. I mean, if you
right.
take a close look, that those bands are cheap. Everything's about it's cheap. There's a reason why you win them for $1 a piece, and you win them once every 3 tries or 5 tries,
Yeah.
because it's not a Fitbit. But
Well, there's a big difference in. I mean, it's like another 10 cents just for that character from what I'm
yeah,
got pricing. So I mean, that's a pretty. I mean, for three of them, you can get a whole nother watch. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it was worth getting the basic.
yeah, I think they look so cool, and they sell like crazy. And I love the little cartoon characters, especially the Pikachu one. I think the Pikachu
Yeah.
one's the best one. But Spider-Man's super cool too, and Captain America. If you ever get those ones, I mean, it's totally random. I bet you if you asked for a certain style, she would send it to you. But they
Yeah.
usually just random mix it. I mean, I've ordered 2,000 in a bulk one time, and I got only like maybe a handful of Pikachu's. I'm like, dang it, I should just.
Yeah, because those are the ones you want the most. Yeah.
Yeah, I love those Pikachu's.
What's your best location?
Okay, so man, there's so many good ones out there. I really love. Now I only collect on this once a month, but usually my grocery store does about $800 to $1,000 a month. But there's 3 machines in there, and I love that store because that was my original store. But there are locations that I make more money on. I love my movie theater. I worked really hard. I spent a year getting that movie theater. Never giving up on them. They never had arcade machines before and claw machines, and I never stopped asking. And they eventually brought me in there after COVID. But I really right now love my ice cream shops because they seem like they're doing like $600 a month, $400 to $600 a month in the off season. And this is only my second season with them. And it looks like they're going to do $1,000 a month every single month. And I got 9 of them now.
Well, it's almost ice cream season, so it's going to be even better.
I love them.
We've got those boba shops, and one of them serves ice cream, so we have a feeling that it's going to do pretty good. You know what I mean? Because it has ice cream and boba. So
and I love boba shops too. I mean, they're all really good. Laundromats. The only downside about laundromats is they're really risky in the sense that not all laundromats have some camera.
To watch it.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only time I've ever been like damaged. Ever had a damaged machine is from a laundromat.
Right. What do you see as the next big thing, or what you think is going to be trending this spring and summer in our industry?
Well, I have a feeling that as a business, claw machines are definitely the way to go. They're still, like, I just talked to who was it? I talked to a lot of people on the Discord, and they called me, and I have a lot of fun chatting with them. I mean, yesterday was just like I was on the phone all day, which I feel bad for my wife because I get on the phone for hours and I love talking. But I think the claw machines are still an untapped industry, the minis at least. As you can see, you go around in your area, and there's still lots of opportunity and space. But for product-wise, I ask little kids what to get sometimes. Like, I had no idea little poppets were a thing a year ago or 2 years ago, and they're still apparently popular. But I play with them all the time because I got so many of them, but I would never have bought one. But so it's hard to say. I just hope for the best and just get whatever goes with the trend, with whatever my nieces tell me. So.
Right. All right. Who are your favorite people to follow in our business, or who do you look up to the most?
Well, you, Howard. You and Amelia. Honestly, no. Like, so this is true, and this is part of the community. I think we actually feed off each other because there are points in time where I'm done getting locations for a while. I'm like, okay, I'm done expanding. I don't have the same drive I'm not desperate anymore. I'm in this comfortable zone. And then I start watching your videos. I'm watching you and Amelia, and like it was just last October-ish before we started doing the live stream, maybe September. I was watching you guys get these locations, and I'm like, I want to go back out there and do that again. I miss doing it. And you and Amelia really got me going again to start going and get more locations. And now I got 9 ice cream shops. That was because you guys got me going again. Got my little heart going, and I started thinking and getting excited because I went on a little slump just because I was being kind of lazy in the sense I was just enjoying the money, and now I'm expanding again. But I look to you guys, of course, and then Galaxy Games, 843. I mean, we're all friends for a reason. We inspire each other. But Quick Play, I still watch Quick Play, and I think the shirt. Quick Play is like the very first that inspired me, so I can't ever just forget them, and Claw Kickers too. But and then there's other people like ET Vending, Cosmic Vending. There's a whole bunch of others that are just every time they post something, Sweet Treat Kings or whoever in the Discord, it gets me going. I'm like, I'm excited. So I just looked at everyone else. I look to everyone, honestly.
I know Amelia really likes to go out looking for locations. So she gets burnt out by the end, I think, because it's time consuming, and it takes a lot out of her, because I mean, you're having to think on your feet, and you got to be, she's got to be happy, and and all that stuff, and it's like that's not always who you are some days. So I know she likes it, but I mean, she doesn't want to stop. It's cool. And Sam right now, he's getting into the full line, and he really wants like 50 vending machines. So he's all about it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to be going pretty hard here pretty quick. So it's good. So Good. So now, what book, movie, or television show do you think shaped your life or your career the most? Do you have one that you? It doesn't have to be a book. It can be anything that you watched or read or whatever that you made you, basically kind of gave you purpose or put you in a certain direction that maybe made you think differently about something.
I don't know. Like, I really like the Rocky series. Like, I love that series. I used to wrestle in high school. I watched Rocky like every season. I watch all. At the time, it was only like
Yeah.
5 Rockies. Actually, I didn't like the 5th Rocky, so I would watch 1 through 4 all the time. But like nothing like Hollywood, and like I love Star Wars. Star Wars was the original Star Wars, not the prequel. Well, prequels are okay, but the Disney sequels.
Did you watch the Mandalorian series?
I watched the first 2 seasons, and I watched Boba Fett. I haven't watched. Is season 3 even out yet?
It's coming out March 1st. So
okay, so I haven't watched that season.
Yeah, I really like the Mandalorian a lot. So
I do, but I'm kind of like done with Disney and such, and like I don't know, it's not the same magic as it used to be to me. I'm not.
Well, I know you went to Disneyland. You didn't have the same experience that you had in years past. You said so. It didn't feel the same, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of irritated with Disney. I feel like it's been too corporate. Like Disney used to be a place for the family and friends, and you're talking about everyone was equal, everyone loved each other. Obviously you fight in the lines and you deal with people and crap, but like at least like it was a positive experience, and there was always some positive energy. I feel like when I go there now, their whole demeanor is you get there, you spend this money, and you get there, and then they want you to download their app and spend more money for a fast pass. And then on top of that, if you want a premium ride, you have to spend more money for each person. And it just became so corporated. Like I love spending money. I'm a big spender, but the whole idea of that just makes me like annoyed.
We've been watching videos because we're going to Vegas. All of us are going in March to Vegas. And so we've been watching all these videos on where to eat and where, what to see and what to do. And for some reason, a Disney video came up and it said, how much did we spend in one day on food at Disneyland? And it was like $300 something for one day or something. This guy, and he's like, and he goes, we didn't even get any of the fancy stuff, and it was 2 of them, him and his girlfriend, and like he's like, this is stupid, this is like ridiculous money. So I totally get it, but
yeah, it's funny you talk about that. So when I was a kid, my parents took me to Disneyland almost every summer. It was magical. That's why I love Disney so much. This is before Disney, like they just barely opened up Indiana Jones. Disneyland was so small. We loved it. We would go there for a week and it was so magical. And we stayed at the Disneyland Hotel, and there's Goofy Kitchen. Well, just 2 years ago, this is 2 years ago, so I hate to see it now. Maybe it's a year and a half ago. My parents went with my older brother and their kids and his wife, and they decided to buy them all a meal at the Goofy's Kitchen. So that's 7 people, but with 3 of them being kids. And the bill came out to over $400 and some odd dollars for the buffet meal. And my parents, they're older, they hardly eat at all. The kids didn't eat that much because there's kids, they had 1 plate. So the only ones that really got to eat was my brother, because my sister-in-law, she doesn't eat that much. So my brother was the only one that ate. So they basically paid $400 and some odd dollars for my brother.
For your brother to eat.
And that didn't even include tip. So you imagine paying a 15%, 20% tip on $400. That's another $100. So almost $100, but
crazy. All right. What superpower do you wish you had, and why?
Time control. I would love to do time, like go through
travel through time.
Yeah, I mean that's the coolest superpower. Do you ever watch Heroes? That old Heroes series?
Yeah.
That was my favorite guy. Was the Hero? Was that his name? Hero?
Yeah.
Hero. I forget his last name.
That, and what's the one guy in that Netflix series or whatever? What's it called? Shoot, forgot the name of it. The Umbrella Academy or whatever, where like they can travel through time and stuff. That was big in that show too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if you saw that.
Sounds interesting. I like time
Hero,
travel.
I think, was the one that could travel through time. It's been a while since I've seen that show. But
yeah.
So where'd you go to that? Would you go to the past or would you go to the future?
I'd probably just stick with past, because I wouldn't want to be spoiled in the future. I like certain events, there's things, but then I also be afraid of the butterfly effect.
Right.
Knowing me, I might trip over and save Hitler or something. I don't know.
Right.
Something bad would happen. It would be an accident. So I'll be like, oh gosh.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay, so what is one idea that experts in our field say is the best, but that you disagree with, or do you have one that you don't go by the norm that other people do?
I don't know. I don't really know too many experts. Like I went on that Facebook group and they hated me on that Facebook group. Is like crazy. I'm not
Yeah,
ever.
they're pretty cutthroat on there for some
Yeah,
reason. I don't know.
but I think it's because I was telling a lot of people getting the vending, and I think my videos they don't understand. Like I know that there's a common conversation that they say, "Why are we recording like you and I recording this?" We're really just telling the business owners to take over our locations. And I've never had anyone ever say, "Okay, I saw your video, get out," because I want to do that.
Yeah,
Most of the owners I'm really personal with, I become friends with. I'm open with them. I'm like, look, I'm actually a YouTuber. I'll record this, and I want you to understand. And if anything, I tell them, look, I record every quarter, every dollar I get out of here. So if you ever want to audit me, you have the video evidence.
right.
Yeah, so it's like, it's like that. So I'm not afraid, and they find that as trust, and I've like my barber shop that I just got that's just killing it. The guy asked me questions like the price of the machine, how they getting started, and I was truthful with them. I told them like, well, I don't want to lose your location, but this is how much it costs and this and that.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we don't want to, do that. I'm just curious about you, how you expand, because they want to know more about me. And I've had my laundromat that I've had since 3 years ago. The guy's same thing, like he wanted to know more, and I actually helped his kids out get started in the claw machines, and he's one of my subscribers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're in the Discord actually, and it's fun seeing those kids go. And then you know what they go for? Boba tea places, coffee places.
Yeah.
They kick butt, and they're like 17, 18 years old, not much older than Amelia. So
Yeah. Well, I know that our Boba Tea place, we recorded us going, in and setting it up and stuff. It was our first Boba Tea. And so then I sent the guy the video. Once it was edited, I sent him a link to the video, and because I put his name in there and I put the location and stuff. And he's like, man, he goes, that's the best advertisement I can get. He's like,
yeah,
any people that'll come in because they see your video, he goes, I think that's awesome. So he was super excited about it. So I understand what they're saying about, the collection videos and stuff, but I don't think you, me, or Matt, or a lot of us, we don't do it for that reason. We don't do it to show how much money we make. We just let people know how our locations are doing, but mostly we do it to help people, and
yeah.
that's kind of what we're
And that's
about.
what I want to do. Like what
Yeah.
Quick Play did for me is what I wanted to do for the community. And I just, I found a simple situation with the minis where you can fit it in the car, where they're half the price or a third of the price of a full size, and they usually make about the same or if not more. So
Mhm.
that to me, it was like the fastest ROI and the easiest way to get started. So
Yeah. Well, I know that you've helped a lot of people, not just in the Discord, but in the general public get started. And a lot of them don't even know about the Discord, but hopefully people will learn. But
yeah.
I don't know how many people told me that they watched you and that's how they got started. So I mean, it's pretty good. And
But
that's
the
how we
great
got
thing
into Call
is,
Machine. So I
you
mean,
guys, like I said, you guys inspired me too. Like
yeah,
if you guys didn't, honestly, this is probably what would have happened. The Facebook group rubbed me the wrong way at one time. I know you're not supposed to let the internet get to you, but I was thinking to myself, I'm doing all this stuff trying to help people, and I've helped out a handful of people, which made me happy and gave me joy. But I'm getting all this negative flack. I stopped posting videos for a while because I was done. I was like, I'm just going to enjoy things with my wife and enjoy growing my business. I'm not going to really show this anymore. And then,
right.
Galaxy Games reached out to me, but then I started finding your channel, Cosmic Vending, ET Vending, and a few others. And I was like, wow, there's other people that are documenting this and showing things. And it got me excited again. Like I said, it really boosted my moral out. I got really happy and excited. And I was like, I'm going to continue doing my YouTube channel. I'm not going to stop. So, I mean, I look to you guys, and that's how I feel. Like you guys are dear to me in that sense
Yeah.
because I would always stop my YouTube.
Well, we're all friends. I mean, we're on a different level now, but I mean, we're all like super close. But even just when we first got started, we were helping each other, and I mean, it's nice to be able to bounce ideas off of other people too. If you have like this great idea you think, and then you throw it, they're like, yeah, but what about this or whatever, and you're like, oh, I
Yeah,
didn't even think about that. Like that, I don't know how many times this
exactly.
happened to me where I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't think
I know
about.
some people have some really cool ideas in that
Yeah.
Discord. And I love it. And I love seeing the growth. Like Howard, you've grown so much faster than I ever did. You and Amelia, well, I know it's Amelia going out there getting locations, but
Right.
you're financing her, and it's just so awesome to see you guys grow so fast.
Yeah.
And that makes me so excited. I brag about you and your daughter all the time. I'm like, I
It's
play
all
ball,
her,
you
man.
know,
It's all her.
and
I
I
just I
play with
just
these
help
teenage,
her. I just help her do her
yeah.
thing.
I I
So
know, but the support is so awesome, and I love that. But I go to play ball or I go to my church house, and I talk to the youth and the younger kids, and I always tell them about your daughter. I'm like, there's an 11-year-old girl who's able to accomplish this. You guys can do it. Go out there and make something of yourselves. And I tell
yeah.
them all about, like, I love Amelia. I think Amelia should go out and give speeches and such. You know, too bad she can't go to the
To
convention coming
Vegas,
tomorrow.
yeah. Maybe next
Yeah,
year.
but when
She's
you go,
just a little young this year,
she
but
is. I know. I
um,
know.
there's a guy that he joined our Discord. He'd been watching the live things and I'm trying to remember where he's from, but he's 24 or 25 years old, and his job is like he has this horrible job where he works like I don't remember what it is, but it's some like really hard job. And basically, he's like, there's nothing else around here that I can do. But he said, I've been saving my money, so I went to Grant and bought a couple Golden House machines that are coming. And he said, I watched Amelia's videos, and he goes, she's the one that told me I could do it. He goes, in my head, he goes, I watched her and go, she's 11. Like, if she could go
She's
out
11,
and do this,
exactly.
he goes, I could do this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I can do this too. And then, so anyways, he ended up calling me on the phone, and we talked just like you talk to people on Discord and stuff. But I talked to him for like 2 hours one day, and Amelia was there, and she kind of talked to him a little bit too. And I said, you're gonna suck. You're gonna be horrible in the beginning, but I said by your 50th or 60th location, you're gonna get it down, and you're gonna find one. Don't stress about it. And because he was really worried about talking to people, and I said, it's embarrassing. It's like it makes you sweat. Like but she does it, and if she can go out and do it, then you can do it. And so he did. The first place he went out, he got, and he was just so excited. And he went out in the second one, and I think he's working on like 3 or 4. But he was like, he goes, she's the one. She's the one. This little girl did it, and he's like, if she could do it, I can do it. You know what I mean?
And that's
So
how I felt about Big Play too. When I saw those kids, like I thought they were 16, 17 years old. I didn't know that they were my wife's age. So, because it was 3, 4 years ago. But I think that's
right,
really cool because to meet them, they're closer to my age than I thought. But I thought the same thing, and that's why I talk about to other people about Amelia. I'm like, this little 11-year-old girl is an entrepreneur, and she goes out with the confidence of as a grown woman. Like she knows that she cannot be stopped.
right,
The only thing that's
right.
stopping her is herself, and
Yeah,
she doesn't let herself stop herself. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think
yeah,
that's brings up a really important thing. When I got started in the claw machine business, obviously it's very weird to do minis. It looks very toyish, and I
yeah,
got told by even family members, friends and family members that are really close to me. They're telling me this is gonna be just another thing. It's gonna fail, and you're not gonna get anywhere with this and stuff like that. And I'm so happy, I just kept going forward, and because being told that if I would have listened, I wouldn't have made this YouTube channel. I wouldn't shared, and there have been a lot of people that probably wouldn't have done this. And a lot of people have the same. Everyone's waking up 9 to 5, doing their 9 to 5 jobs every single day, serving tables,
yeah,
listening to someone else yell at them every day, and it's just negative. And it's like, you want something better for yourself, and you can do that with this business, with vending in
right.
general. It doesn't have to be claw machines, but it's so great being your own boss. So,
Yeah.
um,
Well, and if you get to a certain point, like where you're at now, where you don't have to do a normal job, you can do this full time, and it can pay for you to live, which is amazing in itself. But then you're also your own boss. So, I mean, there's
yeah,
some stressful things about it, like you don't have your own insurance. So, I mean, you've probably got to pay for insurance for you and your wife because otherwise you don't have that unless I don't know if she works. I can't remember. But, that's the thing is that there's little things you'd have to work out besides that. But to be able to go, hey, I work myself. If I want to go collect, I go collect. If I don't want to do that, I don't have to. I can stay home tonight. That's really neat. So it's very
yeah.
nice.
Well, I'm kind of a little bit lucky about the insurance because my wife is actually Native
Oh,
American. So she gets, we go down the road not too far away, and any hospital she can pretty much go to supports her tribe's tribal care. So we're fortunate in that sense. So I don't have to worry about her. And if we ever have kids, the same thing for them. Like they'll be covered by the tribe. So that's awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah.
I won the lottery there too.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but that's really cool. I mean, other than myself,
insurance
that's the only
is
person
super
I need to worry about.
expensive. I mean, it's you know, so yeah, very cool. So yeah, that's awesome. Okay, next question is, how do you deal with rude customers or rude business owners that aren't nice to you? And do you have a story?
Oh yeah, I do have a story about one. There's only one story I can think of that really, oh my gosh, it was so dumb. But you know, the most part, customers, I never really had a rude customer. I had someone shake my machine and they got fired because they were stupid enough to do it in front of a camera, and I caught them. Yeah, so I'll tell you that one real fast. And I actually have a video on it. But the quick backstory: this guy's kind of a customer, kind of not. He was a cleaning crew at that grocery store, and they close down the store, hire a third party group, and they would go and clean. And there would be one person. He knew the security code to get in, and he would do the security code to get out. Anyways, I came in because I check on my machines all the time. I'm an active vendor. I love looking at my machines. I don't just sit. I spend more time driving around and looking at my own machines than I do.
You must be love having the Nyax now. Then I bet you're going nuts.
Oh yeah, I love it. So much. So I went into my grocery store and I see that my machine is a little bit moved, and then I go over there and try to straighten it out. And I'm like, what's going on? Not really thinking much, but then I look at the back wall, and on the drywall there's tears. Like someone shook the machine, you can tell, and there's tears, like perfectly streaks down each side. And I was like, that's not normal. And so I went up to the owner because this was my first location ever. And I was like, I think someone vandalized this machine and destroyed your wall back there. It's like you can see like several scratches like torn into that drywall all the way through. Anyways, so they were aware of it now. They didn't know about that. And they go on the camera, and the only time it would have happened was at nighttime after hours. So they looked it up, and that night before I came, because I came in the day after it happened, apparently. That night, earlier, the guy signed in with the security code, and he's supposed to clean the whole grocery store. He signed in, and 30 minutes later, he signed out and left. So supposedly he cleaned the whole grocery store in 30 minutes, and it's supposed to be like a 6-hour job. And so they thought that was a red flag. And then they looked at the security footage, and for most of the time he was over at my machine, and he was trying to shake out my prize. It was Pokemon Arceus came out, and he's shaking my machine trying to get the fall out of the coils and fall out, and he was trying to get that. But anyways, he got caught and he got fired, so that was funny. I mean, sad, but it's funny because it's justice. But the worst experience with a business owner was I finally got myself a Chinese buffet because I've helped my buddy get Chinese buffets. Chinese buffets do really well, and I found this Chinese buffet, and the lady would not let me put the machine. I was persistent, but she wouldn't let me. So I was like, look, I'll give you $250 to give it 1 month and try it out. And she let me put it in. And so I put the machines in there. We agreed. I put them in 2 machines like I agreed to. And I made like $300 the first week. And I promised her I'd give her a percent, but she didn't want the percent. So the first week, it wasn't even a full week. It was $300. And then I started noticing my money was, every time I show up, because I check on my machines all the time, that my machines were off, and she was leaving them off. And she's like, look, I don't want energy being used. And even though I paid for this rent, we never agreed to that. So I was like, okay, I've got a timer. So I put a timer in there. And then she shut off my machine still, because even though the timer was set, she wanted my machines not to start until the afternoon because she doesn't get much of a breakfast rush. And then she wanted it to shut off an hour early because she didn't want the late rush because usually it's slower. So I agreed to that. And then I came in, I did my first collection, and it was like at that time about 10 days, and I pulled out like $700. And I told her, I'm like, look, next month, if you want to do the 30% deal, you'd be already I'm already in 10 days, already at $210, and I paid you $250. And I was like, I'll pay you the 30%. I was trying to make her happy. And she was mad because now she took it the wrong way. But I was telling her, look, I will give you the 30%. And then I come in, and she's yelling at me and cursing at me on the second time. Because I'm at $1,000 at this time, and she's cursing at me in front of her whole restaurant because her bulk vending machine didn't make as many quarters as it normally does because they were going into my machine. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done working with you because I tried to make you happy and I offered you tons of money. I would have given her, probably if she would have kept me, I probably would have given her like $400, $500 a month. And I would have supplied her with quarters if she wanted to too. But she was yelling at me, cursing at me in front of all her customers, and I was like, I'm good. I'm gone.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, those are the kind of places you don't really want to be in anyways. You know what I mean? At that point, it's just like you just dread going. It's just not fun anymore, you know?
And that's what I decided to. It wasn't worth it. I just pulled my machines out. I didn't even stay for the full month. You know, it was like 3 weeks, and I made $1,000. I got my $250 back. So it was going to be a good location. It would have been a great location, but I just don't want to do business like that. I have way too much fun to stress myself out with some angry lady.
So since you got started, because you've been doing this about 3 years now, right? Total, roughly?
Just over 3 years, yes.
Yeah. So when you first got in and you watched all the videos and people made all this stuff and told you all these stories and everything, what do you think the biggest myth that you heard over the time of that was, or do you think that is getting said a lot that is just a myth about vending? Is there any myths you can think of?
Well, I've been told that I staged all my collections, and so like that's a big myth. I never staged anything. Those collections were true. I mean, that was a myth people were saying about my collection. I don't know about the whole thing of vending because I don't know the whole thing of vending.
That's funny because that was a comment we got when we did our live videos. You know, those live feeds that we did where we went and collected. And somebody wrote, one of the comments they wrote on it was like, oh, finally somebody that's doing it live that shows what it's really like and what they're really getting. And I'm like, it's always been what we're really getting. Like we don't go to a location and tell the people that work there that we're gonna go in and put a bunch of money in the machine and then we're gonna come back in like 10 minutes and you guys act like you haven't seen us. You know what I mean? Like
no, we never done that.
You know,
never done that. I mean, the only thing that maybe it's kind of more reality, but it's not like sometimes I don't feel like recording. And I go over there and I'm like, okay, this machine just made $600 or something like that, $400. And I'm like, I've already opened it up and I already know what's in there. And I've done that a few times where I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta record this. This is too good of a collection. So I'll relock it up. I'm like, let's get the phone and bring out the crew, you know, get a camera stand, whatever, because I'm gonna record this. And I had to act surprised. I've done that a few times. I'm guilty of that. But that was because it was too good. It wasn't that I was faking the collection. It's that I was just having to react the response. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's $480 in 2 weeks. You know, I've done that just a few times, but that's the only thing I've ever done.
Yeah, we've never done that yet. We've never had to do anything like that. We wished we recorded a couple, you know, but we were just like, we're in a hurry.
Yeah.
We just wanted to get in and get out, and we were gonna go do something, or like we were just having a bad day, and like Amelia didn't feel like being on camera or whatever, and I was like, that's fine, you know, like, because she likes to look nice and she wants to be presentable and all that, and some days you just wake up on a Saturday and you're like, let's go collect, and she's like, well, I'm not getting dressed up. I'm like, that's fine. Let's go collect and make sure your machines are okay, because you need to take care of them, you know. So we go and do that, but.
Yeah, because recording on the site is not the easiest thing ever.
No, it's not.
It makes it so much, because I'm one hand down and I'm trying to collect the money, and then I'll bend over and it's really awkward trying to hold on to the camera, and then I drop bills all over.
The DBAs are hard to open with one hand, and
they are. It is. I mean, that is true. But
I tried that at Logan's once.
Big stack come out.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
So, what's your favorite part of the business? What do you like the most, and what's your least favorite part of the business?
Well,
besides the money.
I hate traveling, so that's my least favorite part. I'm not much. I've always hated traveling, and I hate driving around. That's why I had to buy this electric car and spend all this money so it would drive for me. I mean, I still have to drive, but it's mindlessly driving, and at least I can just relax. But
drive like idiots. That's the thing that bothers me, like, especially in California. They're the worst.
Right, California is worse than Arizona. That's for sure. You guys are like your giant freeway system, and like how many freeways connect to each other, and like it's crazy. So
There's
that's kind
basic
of,
rules and nobody follows them, and like it
yeah.
makes it so frustrating. Yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm
I know.
with you.
And it's scary. And then what I really like doing is when I do a collection, I love going out with my wife and having a collection. Like I used to do dates, the Dave and Buster's, and we go
Yeah.
over there and we play the games and we see how many times we could win the game in a row. We see how many tickets we get, and we go and buy a whole bunch of plush for my machines. But
Yeah.
now I got so many machines, and this is one of the reasons why I stopped, other than inflation and the tickets not being worth as much as to buy the toys. But I just got to the point where I got so many machines. Playing at Dave and Buster's became more of a chore than enjoyment.
Yep.
And because I play the same machine over and over again, and I would get done playing for an hour or two, and then I go and get the tickets and toys, and it was just not enough to fill up all my machines. So it's like, I'll just buy online from now on.
Yep. That makes sense. What's the word? Oh, you already did that. Okay. So then, here's a funny question. What's your favorite scary movie of all time?
Scary movie. I don't like scary movies. I don't like. I hate horror. Let's see. Scariest movie. Ooh, I don't know what's my favorite. You said. I don't know. I don't really have a horror
Okay.
movie that I like. I hate horror.
All right. What would be your biggest advice you give to new and old business owners, not young and old business owners, or business owners that have been in the business even? What advice would you give them if they're getting started or if they're already in business that you've learned? What advice?
Well, it depends. Like if you're on a budget, if and this is what I learned and I helped out lots of people get started. This is my advice personally, and it depends on your credit score or whatnot. But a lot of people that don't have the funds to get started, I recommend getting a credit card with zero APR. Like I got a Discover card, and that's how I funded a lot of my machines too. Is I went on there and kind of fudged the numbers a little bit. I was like, okay, well, if I have this many machines out there, this is how much I will make, because they ask your annual income. So I was like, this is what my annual income is going to be. Knocked some numbers in there. I'm like, that's my number, and it is now by far. I predicted it pretty well. But that's what I put, and gave me a really nice credit card limit, like $12,000. Like, yes. And then it gave me cash back, zero APR, bonus for using the card in the first 3 months. So I had like $300, $400 worth of cash back and rewards. So that was really nice. But I financed my machines and got me a big order. And then I had 15 months to pay that sucker off before APR kicked in. And that really helped me get going. So if you're on a limited budget, but you have decent or good credit, get a zero APR credit card. That's my thought.
That's your any other advice?
Use Google Maps to find locations, to help find locations. Route it out. Drop your little guide down if you have to, like you were talking about. Walk around that Google Maps. Find locations. Look for signs. Like if you find a location and it has bulk vending in there, and you have mini claw machines, well, they already like vending, so there's a good chance that you can put a mini claw machine in there. They're used to vendors. Or if you see the honor boxes in there, they like some sort of vending, so go over there and ask them if they want a mini claw machine. So yeah, look for little tricks like that. Look for little signs that they would like vending.
Nice. So what can people expect from you next? What's next for Xtreme Vending and David and his wife?
Well, I'm hoping that things will continue to grow in the sense like I want to grow to the point where I'm making almost double. Well, last few months my business has been pulling in between $10,000 to $13,000 a month, pretty consistently for the past 8 months right now, and I want to get to about 25,000, so almost double. I think that's very possible with these mega minis and the Nix readers and the newer minis that are just so much better. So that's my personal business goal. Yeah. But as a YouTube goal, I would say I would like to get to the point where I'm growing a lot more and got a bigger Discord. And I want to build a partnership between some of the channels, which you already know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And I want to build a trust and a friendship between a few channels about certain things and make kind of like a little vending hub where people, well, we kind of have that at Discord already, but where you can trust 2 other channels or such about doing business together and such. Yeah. Help each other.
Nice. Very good. Any final thoughts you would like to leave our viewers with?
Well, Well, check your local laws, of course. Make sure things are legal and affordable, because I've heard that there's pretty crazy laws. Like Maryland, I know makes you, at least this is what I'm told, because I don't live there, you have to make it play and win every time, which that kind of sucks, but still very doable. Um, don't let people discourage you. I mean, a lot of people think you have to go to college, which I'm not trying to say you don't have to go to college or whatever, but they make you think that your life should be out of high school, college, pay lots of money, get into debt, and work a 9-to-5 job. Or maybe if you don't go to college, work a 9-to-5 job for the rest of your life. You don't have to do that. You can do something else. There's vending. There's other things out there. There's obviously people. You hear stories in America. America is the greatest country in the world for a reason. People come to this country, they crawl on their hands and knees, they cross the border, they try to get here because they want a better life. Everyone and anyone have this equal opportunity in America. That's what's so great about this country, is you can actually build yourself up to something. And, don't let anyone discourage you from that. Believe in yourself. Take chances. If you fail, at least you failed trying, and you learned a little bit more about yourself and learned more about why you failed, and try something else. So
nice, very good. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And
well, it's always a pleasure. Like, I love you guys. Like, I love Amelia. I love you so much. I love Galaxy Games. It's a great community. Discord. I love the Discord. So thanks for using me as your guinea pig.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for man. All right. Well, thank you so much for Xtreme Vending for hanging out with us, and good luck with all your endeavors. And I know you're going to kill it as usual. So we'll be watching along with everybody else and seeing what's next for you guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Howard. Love you, man.
Bye.
Bye.